Brittany here with day 39 of our 67 days towards our own at-home practice. We have a really awesome day today. We're going to be starting off with our countering movements, doing our heart-opening warrior sequence to help prep our body for our forward folds and make them more restorative and enjoyable. And we're going to be learning a new breathing technique and twisting up one of our poses. So good day. Let's get started. Sitting up nice and tall, hands into the body, closing the eyes, Ujjayi breaths, 5 deep breaths. Inhale, filling up the abdomen. Exhale, gently engaging top to bottom. When we're ready, bring our hands to our heart, setting an intention for our practice. Today I offer you the intention of ahimsa, or compassion for ourselves. And just taking this time not only to study ourselves and who we really are, but to honor that person in us and never think we should be more than we are. Instead, embracing in gratefulness all that we are. That's a nourishing intention, if not setting any other intention that'll keep your mind on your mat. And then grounding the palms, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to learn a new breathing technique. Our Ujjayi breathing is very calming, very soothing, and that's the most calming we've learned so far. This one takes it to a next level. It's called Bhramari Pranayama, or bee's breath. And it's performed by inhaling through the nose. And as we exhale, we let out a gentle hum. You're going to feel it vibrating on the top of your mouth, the bottom of your throat, or the top of your throat, bottom of your mouth. It's a really nourishing technique, and what makes it even better, and why they call it bee's breath, is we'll stick our thumbs in our ears and cover our eyes. And as we do it, it's going to sound like there are bees in your head. So we're going to do that for 5 deep breaths. Placing our thumbs over our ears, fingers over our eyes. Deep inhale. Exhaling, hum. 4 more on your own. Gently grounding our palms when we're done, sitting up nice and tall, returning to our deep belly breathing. And then opening our eyes, coming onto our feet. We are going to go to the front of our mats, if we're on mats, for our open-hearted warrior sequence. We're going to do a nice slow flow through it, just 1 round. So it'll be nice and gentle. Spreading our toes nice and wide. Gentle knees, centered hips, centered shoulders. Inhaling the arms up. And then exhaling, folding forward. I'm going to come back into our plank. Spreading our fingers nice and wide. Shoulders together in the back. Belly up, butt up. Deep inhale. Exhale, lowering down. Chaturanga, dropping the knees if we need to, then pressing through the toes, coming into our upward facing dog, really hugging those shoulders together in the back, eyes up. On our next exhale, rolling over the toes, pressing through the fingers and coming into our downward facing dog. Gently bending one knee at a time, loosening up our hamstrings. Then grounding the left heel, raising the right foot up, gently stacking the hips, and coming forward into our low lunge. Hugging the knees towards one another. Deep inhale, bring our arms up, coming into our warrior one. Hugging our shoulders together in the back. 3 deep breaths here. Just 2 more. Nice solid foundation, hugging the knees. Then dropping the back arm, opening up, shoulders together in the back. Eyes forward, gently bending into the front knee. Back foot at 45 degrees. 2 more deep breaths. Surrendering our back hand to our inner thigh. Elbow into the side. Right arm up and overhead. Gaze gently towards the ceiling. Just 1 more deep breath here. Bring our elbow to our knee. Our left arm up and overhead. Coming into our extended side, strong shoulders, not dipping in. And then engaging the eyes up. Remember, open-hearted warrior. 1 more deep breath here. Coming back into our warrior 2, hugging the shoulders, bending forward, cartwheeling the arms. Right foot meets the left. Coming back into our plank, finding our center, shoulders together in the back. Back up, butt up. Inhale, body down. Taking a deep breath. And pressing through, engaging the shoulders back, upward facing dog. Taking 2 more nice deep breaths here, shoulders together in the back, body surrendered. Then rolling over the toes into our downward facing dog, pressing through the fingers into the shoulders, from the shoulders lifting our hips, gently bending 1 knee at a time. And when we're ready, grounding our right heel, lifting our left leg up, gently stacking the hips, and then bringing it forward into our high lunge, hugging the knees together, inhaling the arms up. Warrior 1, shoulders together in the back, chest out. 1 more deep breath here. Nice solid foundation. Then surrendering the back heel, back arm, coming into our warrior 2. Gently bending into the front knee. Gaze forward, chest wide. Just 1 more deep breath here. Surrendering the back arm, left arm up and overhead. Back arm inside of the thigh, elbow into the back. Left arm up, gaze up. 1 more nice deep breath here. And bringing the elbow to the front knee. Right arm up and overhead. Gaze up, chest out. 2 more deep breaths. Coming back into our warrior. Hugging the shoulders. Cartwheeling the arms. We're going to bring our left foot right back into our downward facing dog. Pressing through our fingers, lifting our hips, taking 3 deep breaths here. Breathing into the hamstrings, any tension that we're feeling. Rolling over the toes, surrendering the knees down. Walking the arms forward, coming into our extended puppy. Grounding our head, taking 5 deep breaths. Breathing into our shoulders, gently pressing through the fingers into the shoulders so that you really activate them. Feeling our upper back, letting our spine just drift into the mat, not putting any tension into it. Just focusing on the breath. One more nice deep breath. And then gently walking the hands in, bringing them right underneath the shoulders, knees right underneath our hips, coming into our cat-cows, surrendering our hips down, eyes up, and exhaling, pressing through the fingers, belly into our back. Deep breaths in, complete breaths out. 3 more just like this. As we inhale, lightly engaging the shoulders together in the back, letting the eyes come up and overhead. And as we exhale, pressing through the fingers, bringing the belly all the way into the back. One more nice deep breath for good measure. Coming back to our center, we're going to come onto our butt, engaging our folded sequence. We're going to start off again in our bound angle, gently pressing through the toes. But this time, instead of going right into it, we're going to open up our heart a little bit more. We're going to spend a lot of times in our folds, so we want to make sure to do the countering movements so that our body feels balanced. Walking the hands together in the back, eyes gently up, closing our eyes, letting our chest come forward, letting our hips come forward, lightly engaging the shoulders away from the ears, keeping the elbows gently bent in the back, not to overextend. Deep breaths here. Breathing into any tension we're feeling in our shoulders, in our upper back. Just 3 more deep breaths. Lightly pressing through the toes, keeping the low back in line. Activating our internal organs. Then gently walking the hands into the side, a nice straight back. Inhaling our arms up. We're going to let someone's pulling that chest up, hips forward, deep inhale. Exhale and fold forward, surrendering our arms right to our shins, letting our head come into the body. Deep breaths in. Complete breaths out. 4 more right here. Just focusing on the breath. Focusing on letting go of the spine. Just letting it sink into the mat. And not worrying about what we could do. Just being here now, noticing our body, breathing into any areas of tension. And when we exhale, just letting it all go. Next, inhale gently, sliding the palms up to the knees as we stack the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. We're going to bring our feet forward, hands to the side, pressing through the fingertips, coming into our staff. Gently engaging the shoulders together, pressing through the fingers, widening the chest, closing the eyes. 3 more deep breaths here. Our staff pose ensures a nice straight spine for our folds. On our next inhale, we're going to release the palms, let them come up and overhead, chest up, hips forward. Exhale, fold forward. Bring our hands anywhere down next to the ankles, around the feet that feels most comfortable, most nourishing for us, and just focusing on the breath. If this is too difficult at first and really doesn't feel comforting and nurturing, gently rocking side to side, a little bit of dynamic movement makes it just a little bit easier on our mind to take in this tension. Breathing into it and breathing it out. For these forward folds, we spend an extended amount of time in them because it takes a little bit to loosen up the body. And the more time, if we spend 2 minutes in our folds a day in just 1 month, you can go from being right here to being all the way down here. Just spending that time breathing into it. Just one more nice deep breath. And then gently sliding up the body, stacking the spine one vertebrae at a time. We're going to bring our right foot into the left groin, centering our hips over our left leg. Inhaling the arms up, chest up, hips forward. Exhale, fold forward, head to our knee. Deep breaths in, complete breaths out. Centering our hips, centering our shoulders right over our leg. Keeping our toes up towards the ceiling, helping to engage the back of our calf. Just breathing into our tension. And exhale, letting it all go. Three more deep breaths just like this. And then we're going to learn how to twist this pose up and make it a little bit different, targeting different areas of our legs as we stretch and getting our shoulders involved. When we're ready, lightly grabbing hold of the ankle, shin, foot, wherever we feel most nourished. And then taking our right hand, sliding it up the left hand to the elbow, and gently staring underneath. You're going to notice your hips start to shift. We're going to let them. And if this is too hard to bring your hand here, we're just going to reach the arm up at the ceiling, gently gazing up, letting the top body sink down, taking 5 deep breaths here. This is called revolved head to knee pose. And it's a nice variation that targets the outside of our thigh, so you may feel a little bit of tension here. And yeah, it's a nice new way to take these folding postures that are very restorative and make them more restorative and in different ways. Gentle inhale, someone's pressing through that hand if it's up. We're staring a little bit higher up if we're here. And then coming back into the body, centering ourselves off, and then gently sliding up, stacking the spine one vertebrae at a time. Coming nice and wide. Hands right behind our hips, opening the chest, taking tension off our back. And when we're ready, inhaling the arms up, chest up, hips forward. Exhale, folding forward, surrendering down. Maybe bringing our forearms down and just staying here if this feels most nourishing for us. Finding a place of comfort and sticking with it. Some of us, maybe that's not where we're at, and we really want to work on our hamstrings and opening up our groin, lengthening the hamstring. So we're going to keep on walking forward, surrendering our crown down. 3 more deep breaths wherever we want to be. Just one more. Then gently walking the hands in, bringing our left foot inside the right groin, centering our body over our leg, taking a nice deep inhale, arms up, chest up, hips forward. Exhale, folding forward, bringing our head to our knee and just focusing on our breath. Deep breaths in. Complete breaths out. Slow and steady. Just sinking into the body. Breathing into our tension. Gently smiling if any other thoughts are coming to mind, letting them know this is the time for us in our practice. Just letting them drift away. 3 more deep breaths here. Slower and steady with each. Then gently grabbing hold on anywhere we like as we slide our left hand up to our elbow, or reaching that left hand up towards the ceiling. Either way, gaze coming up. Just focusing on the breath from here. Deep breaths in. Complete breaths out. Feeling it in the outside of our calves, outside of our shins. This nice restorative stretch. 3 more deep breaths. The last one is if someone's gently pressing that top hand, and then exhaling, coming back into the body. Inhale, coming up, stacking the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. And then we're going to bring our feet in, straighten them out, hands on our knees, coming onto our back, slowly and steadily, 1 vertebrae at a time, preparing our body for our Savasana. We only have 1 posture left before we do. We're going to bring our hands underneath our butt, shoulders beneath our back, soles of our feet onto the mat, inhaling into our bridge, putting a block underneath us, putting our hands underneath us, whatever we find most nourishing. Letting our gaze come up at the ceiling as we press through the toes, grounding the shoulders, lifting the hips, taking 3 nice deep breaths here. Make these breaths slower, steadier, and deeper than all others, as this countering movement is helping us balance us out after our nice glorious folds. Last breath, pressing through the toes, lifting the hips, and coming on down. Both feet onto the ground, returning attention to the breath. Deep breaths in, complete breaths out. Allowing these breaths to guide us through our mental body scan, releasing tension from any areas that may be still holding. Closing our eyes, bringing attention to our toes, the soles of our feet, our heels and our ankles, gently releasing any tension in our shins and calves, knees and thighs, in our lower back and hips, and up through the belly, through the chest, to the shoulders, making sure our lower back is grounded, shoulders away from the ears, holding no tension in either. And bringing attention down our arms, through our elbows and forearms to our hands. If any thoughts are on the mind, gently grounding the palms. Then bringing our attention back up to our neck, gently rocking it side to side, finding a comforting spot right in the center. And then bringing our chin into our chest, and our eyes up and overhead, finding a nice, comfortable spot on the back of our skull to rest. Then finally bringing attention to that place right between our eyes where our thoughts like to dwell. And letting our mind know for the next minute we have nowhere to go and nowhere to be, but right here and right now. Listening only to the sounds and feeling only the sensations in our immediate present, as we quite simply be here now. With our breath at our everyday normal breathing, we will simply relax. And when we're ready, and only when we're ready, bring attention back to the body, gently massaging the fingers and the toes amongst one another. Bring our hands to our heart, and as we gently reach them up and overhead, bring our ankles together and pointing our toes, entering a very light but full body stretch. Bringing one knee into the chest at a time, hands to our heart, and gently rocking onto our right side, coming into our sleeping baby and preparing our body for motion. Then only when we're ready, pressing through the ground below us, coming back to our seat. Bring our hands to our heart, closing our eyes, reflecting on our intention. Only moments in which we met it, and ending our practice, as we always do, bowing to one another, bowing to our beautiful bodies, and honoring the light within one another, which is the same. Namaste. See you tomorrow.